The Office of the Vice President under Sara Duterte received confidential funds amounting to 500 million in 2023. And when she was simultaneously DepEd Secretary, she had, I believe, 150 million pesos in confidential funds. You were a senator and you approved the budget when there are requests for confidential funds, right? So I want to ask you first. I've always said it's also the fault of
Yes.
Congress that gave her these funds. Napakalaki ng binigay eh. Diba? Ang laki-laki ng binigay. Right?
Correct.
Kasalanan din ng
Without,
Congress.
without, you are correct, Karen. They should have first determined whether those offices, both the DepEd and the OVP, deserve to get confidential funds in relation to their respective mandates. What confidential intelligence funds would OVP be requesting for when it's not vested with any duty about national security? And also DepEd, so both OVP and DepEd. And remember that the former VP Lenny Robredo never asked for confidential funds and was never given confidential funds because you tama ka, Karen, no? The original sin came from Congress itself by giving Sara Duterte as VP and as DepEd Secretary confidential intelligence funds without examining and assessing the need for it in relation to the specific mandates of those two offices.
Oo. Para maintindihan ng publiko, no, there are confidential funds, there are intelligence funds. You were a senator that actually approved the budget during your term.
Yes.
What is the difference? Of course, we know, but it's important that the public understands the difference and what they are meant to be used for. Who should have these?
Actually, there's a thin line of distinctions between these two. Intelligence, of course, would refer to those offices that would need that are expected to do intelligence work, intelligence gathering and surveillance and all that, and that pertains to the law enforcement agencies as well as, of course, the armed forces of the Philippines, and even certain departments where there are units that would really are expected in relation to the mandate, even as a secondary mandate, to really go into that work, that kind of work, intelligence fact gathering, surveillance, and also with respect to protection of certain confidential matters of the particular department. Now, confidential funds is broader because you see, there are offices or there are officers that are expected also to do certain work that may not be covered by the itemized budget, strictly speaking, that is subject to strict scrutiny by the auditors, by COA, but actually are expected to also be performed because of the nature of the functions of a particular officer or executive or head of a particular agency. Kaya nga siguro this situation na inahalungkat na at iniscrutinize na ng gusto yung budget ng OVP and DepEd during the stint of VP Sara, Congress now should be more discerning. And they about the need for confidential funds for each and every department or agency of government. So this also serves as a wake-up call or a lesson for Congress as the one holding the power of the purse, that they cannot just be lightly giving out confidential intelligence funds to particular officials or particular departments without being convinced of the necessity for those funds.
Because the OVP and the DepEd are both civilian agencies. And is it
Yes.
correct? There are
Yes.
limitations. There are limitations on what you can spend confidential funds for. Is it really limited, attorney, because you were once Justice Secretary, only to gathering information, housing witnesses? Dun lang ba talaga limited ang confidential funds?